What do you do anyway?
I'm a writer, I guess.
Yes, don't you know?
You get 2 sheets every Saturday. You put the clean sheet in the top sheet in the bottom sheet you turn in the laundry board. Any man turns in the wrong sheet spends the night in the box. Which no one will sit in the bunks with dirty pants on. Any man with dirty pants on sitting on the bunk spends the night in the box. Any man don't bring back his empty pop bottle spends the night in the box. Any man loud talking spends the night in the box.
It's the Al Travis Show. We have with us, his name is Len Dohm. He's director of Minnesota Warrior Volleyball. It's not just another volleyball program, and that's why we want him on the program. Len, how are you doing, sir?
I'm doing great today, Al. How are you?
I'm doing very well. Thank you very much. Like I was saying, going into the break, a friend of mine, I had all boys, so we didn't do a lot of volleyball. But I had 3 boys, and when you get into basketball or baseball and the traveling, it's just this amazing thing that was much more than I actually thought it was. I guess maybe they invented that after I was out of sports, but whatever. But my best friend, his daughter's graduating in 2 weeks, and she was a volleyball player. And the amount of distance and traveling and all the stuff that goes with being a good volleyball player is just stunning to me. But I want to start, and we'll talk about what your program is, but I want to get with you first. What do you do, sir? I mean, I presume Minnesota Warrior Volleyball isn't big enough that that's what you do.
No, I work for Benco Electric. I'm a lineman.
Okay. And then how do you get to the point where you want to be a volleyball coach?
Well,
is your daughter in it?
You have 4 daughters, Al.
Okay.
And 2 boys.
Boy, congratulations for a straight shot to heaven, my friend. 4 daughters. You're in.
Yes. And my middle one, Sarah Dohm, I'd like to give a shout out if I could. She's graduating this weekend out of Blue Earth. And
congrats.
Me and her mom are super proud of her. She's a great young lady.
Good for her. Congratulations. So you've got 4 daughters. They're playing some volleyball. Is that how you get your volleyball chops?
Sarah fell in love with volleyball, and then we started doing, of course, we started when she was young at Junior Olympics in Blue Earth, and on that team. And then once she got into high school or a little bit older, then we started doing club volleyball. And she's done that, and of course she played school ball, so that's about 9 months to your year because all that. And then my youngest daughter, Mary, is 13, and she started to want to play. She played JO for a couple of years and wanted to go to club. And I just looked around, and a lot of the kids that I saw playing JO and local volleyball weren't involved in the clubs because of the driving and the financial, you have to make a pretty big financial sacrifice for that. Anyways, I just started looking around, and I'm like, well, a lot of these girls are pretty good because I have to watch it. And I did fall in love with the sport, and I watched the Gophers and the Badgers, and, I follow Big Ten volleyball. And I was like, well, wait a second. Why couldn't we do something like that locally where we could pull the girls through here that maybe their parents have to work and can't get them to all these practices and don't want to, give up their entire weekends all winter long to take them to all these tournaments just to get them to play. So that's kind of how we got started.
Understand. And that I think a lot of parents that are listening, and again, mine is on the boys' side. I believe it was basketball. You want to get into the I don't know what the heck they call it anymore, but the traveling teams, and you'd get a coach, you'd put together the kids he likes, and okay, you got to drive. It's an hour one way. I think ours was in Waseca, if I'm not mistaken, or Mankato. Got to drive one way for practice, get a couple hours practice, 2-3 days a week, and then it was weekends when you're having the tournaments. You might have one local one, but other than that, then you were driving to Minneapolis, St. Paul, you were going to Des Moines. I mean, you were all over the place. So when you talk about the financial commitment, it's financial and time. There was a time with 3 boys all playing sports. I didn't have a life. I had boys. And where are we going today, and who's getting a hamburger on the way out of town, and that sort of thing. So this is expensive, especially when you're in outstate Minnesota. So now we're 2 hours from the Twin Cities, and you got to get it. You want to get a what do you call it? A traveling team together. So how far do you draw from? And then again, you got to pay. Generally, got to pay to get the kids in. You got to get the extra uniforms and all the rest, gym time. How do you manage all of that?
Well, thanks to Mr. and Mrs. Bob Wirtz, a gym became available. None of this would be possible without Mr. Wirtz. he became involved in the Winnebago school that was
For
not
sale,
being
basically.
used
Yeah.
for sale. And the gym became available, and I asked him and his wife, Jennifer. I said, is there some space for us? And they were more than helpful, bent over backwards to help us. And we got in there and we threw this thing together last fall pretty quickly, probably from November to December. By the time we got uniforms and practice shirts and signed up the girls and stuff like that.
So now the gym, I guess, just because I know this place, I actually saw it. Bob did an open house, and that's where I heard about you. Was it ready for volleyball? I mean, you got to have stanchions. I mean, this gym was about 200 years old. Not Davy Crockett actually did gym class there at one time. Was this in any way ready for you, or did you have to do extra stuff just to get it up and running?
Mr. got the floor usable, the hardwood floor, because there was some water damage. But he repaired that, and then we went out and got a bunch of sponsors and raised money, and we were able to get a set of in-floor nets for the gym with the posts and the padding and everything. So I went to Waukegan, Illinois, picked them up on a Sunday after Sunday. So we got that. And other than that, yeah, it was ready. I mean, we bought a sound system and we did some spruce ups to the place, but it was 80% there.
Is this like the cornfield and you build it and they will come? You had your daughter and another daughter. You had two that might, when you showed up for the first practice, did the three of you had a good time? Are you coaching this thing? How many kids showed up and how big is it now?
Well, we had 10 girls last year, and we had a little bit of a multiple age bracket. So that was a little bit difficult because some of the younger girls, actually, I hope it benefited them because my goal was to get them ready for Junior Olympics in the spring.
Sure.
But we got 10 to show up. Some families were real interested, real committed. And we started practicing and playing. And then the younger girls, of course, they have to play against higher level talent because I'm sure just like in basketball, you can't put a 15-year-old on a 12-year-old team, but you can put a 12-year-old on a 15-year-old team. So we were playing higher level talent.
Yep.
And that's kind of how that got started. How big we're going to be this year, I've got quite a few families that are saying they want to join. We haven't put together a final number yet.
And how does that, again, you're coaching the squad, you have somebody that helps you coach the squad. It's not easy, these traveling teams. There's usually 2-3 coaches and all the rest.
And my daughter, Sarah, helped me out. And some of the seniors, Rihanna Wirtz, came down and helped. There was a lot of community support. Some of the parents helped a little bit with practice.
Okay.
Tagging balls and things like that.
Yeah.
And then we got some local volunteers. They would referee for us.
Okay, so let me ask you this then. You get everything set up. You told me what I've read about this is it's a nonprofit built for every kid, no matter their zip code, income, or ability. A real shot from competitive athletes. How do you market that? How do you get folks out there? What does it cost any child to come in the door?
$0.
Okay, you said 0, but I think you meant more. What is the cost to have these kids come play volleyball with you?
Well, I want to volunteer. Be part of the community.
But that's it. I was giving you a hard time. This is amazing to me because my kids went through all this craziness. Nothing is for free, but you are putting this out here for free for folks. Now, how big an area would you draw from?
As far as they want to come from. I mean, Fairmont, there's some schools in the area, and I won't mention any names because they're all great areas. But there was a school in the area my daughter played last year, and there was 30 girls on the one team.
Wow.
Now, and that was just one grade. There's no way all those girls are going to get the kind of playing time they deserve.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, if there's 30 of them, you could take, 28 of them that aren't getting all the playing time. And they deserve a shot, too, because they're going to practice. They're working their tails off. And then come game time, the team traveled basically with its own cheering section.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I get you. And I love this idea. And folks are thinking this is just a volleyball program. It's not. This is for kids that can't have it otherwise, like, say, money, restriction, the time in southern Minnesota. This can be replicated other places, but I presume the gym was the hardest part here, right? This isn't this. You can't just be a club team and say, I want to use my local high school gym. I mean, they don't just let anybody do that, right?
Right. And, with our area, Blue Earth being the major school, they have so many activities. They were willing to work with us, but I mean, the time constraints, we could, basically, and I'm being facetious here, we could practice from 1 a.m. to 3 a.m.
Yeah. Yeah. Let me do this. Let me go to a break, Mr. Dohm, and we'll talk more about Minnesota Warriors volleyball, how people can get involved. But the thing that put me over the top here, we're going to talk about volleyball programs all the day, is something you have these girls do that I think doesn't happen anywhere else in the state. I want to talk about it coming up right after this. It's the Al Travis Show.
If it's your turn to host a game, Grandpa's Barbecue suggests you try something different. Put out the perfect barbecue flavor of Grandpa's Barbecue. Add it to your ribs, dip the meatballs, or drench your wings in the original flavor of Grandpa's Barbecue. It isn't too hot or spicy, fruity or smoky or whatever. Grandpa's Barbecue. Available in select stores and online at grandpasbarbecueshop.com.
You know that car sound that sounds like a cricket playing a banjo? Jay's can fix that. You know when you step on the brakes and your car sounds like a pair of tennis shoes in the dryer? Paul is the guy who specializes in that. And you know that sound that never happens when the mechanic's around? Paul took a whole course on that. If you own a car, you need to know Paul. Paul owns Jay's Auto Shop, 202 North Main Street, Blue Earth, 525-1052, 525-1052. Just for your information, Len, this will show up at 4:30 on KBW today.
Okay, great. Yeah, thanks, Al.
You bet.
Are you kidding me?
You know that comment you said to the radio? The thing that we got wrong?
Clearly, Brussels sprouts are the worst vegetable.
Call us and let the world know your thoughts. 855-257-7469. That's 855-ALS SHOW.
We've got Len Dohm on with us, director of Minnesota Warrior Volleyball. It'd be any other volleyball program. It's great. Kids get to come free. I love that. It's community helping out. This is what put it over for the top for me, sir. Will you tell us about Warrior Heart?
Oh, yeah. So last year we became involved with Cheryl Aukus and Brenda Smith. They have the Faribault County Giants, Special Olympics bowling team. And we got to work with them a little bit and participate in some of their events, and it was amazing. And my wife and I were talking not that long ago, and she said, well, you love working with special needs and that Special Olympics type thing. Why don't you start something like that with the Warriors? Now, granted, but my wife is the brains of the operation, as you can probably tell.
I don't think anyone's shocked.
But out to Brenda Smith, and she is taking the bull by the horns, and she's making great contacts and getting people involved. And what we're going to do is we're going to have Warrior Heart. It'll be a team, but we'll get together, once a week, once a month, once every 2 weeks, and we'll play. It won't necessarily be volleyball, but just to get these special athletes, get them out in the wintertime because, it's Minnesota. There isn't much to do. So let's get these guys out. We're going to work with folks with disabilities and veterans.
I love this. This is fantastic. I saw them literally bowling. A special needs friend of mine asked if I would bowl with him. Was I want to say co-ed, able-bodied, not so able-bodied, bowling together up in Mankato. And these gals walked in from your volleyball team, and everybody lit up. Then these kids, these special folks come in and they root on their Warrior buddies when they're playing volleyball. This is win-win all the way around, sir. I mean, this is where it really gets to me, that you take it that next step. It's great you want to help volleyball and volleyball girls out, but you know what? You're going to be here. We're going to do something for the rest of the community. That is just over the top, really cool, Len. And you're probably embarrassed me to say it. I was stunned when I saw it, loved it, and the athletes just could not believe that the volleyball players they see playing on Sunday at the gym, where everybody's yelling and screaming, are there rooting them on. It's just over the top.
Yeah, it really is. It's amazing, Al. And I think I'm the biggest winner because, my heart is, I leave those events, my heart is full for quite some time. It's my honor to work with them.
Well, you will change lives. It's that whole ripple effect. They have this great experience. They're not as scared to talk to other people now because they have friends who are in the community. They'll see them at school. They'll see them out about. It just changes lives, and these kids loved it. I was so happy to see them there. Now, we have one other thing. I don't want to let you go without this because I think it's kind of a big draw. You got some stuff coming this summer with the Golden Gophers?
Yeah, I really want to thank them and let the community know because this is a really big get. Stella Swenson, who is a setter for the Gophers, her sister was a 3-time All-American, and she's on her way. She got named the USA national team. That's the kind of caliber we're talking about. Alex Acevedo was an outside hitter, and Kate Theobald, who was a defensive specialist. They are coming down on June 21st to do a skills clinic for our kids right here in Winnebago.
Wow.
And, Alex and Stella came down last winter, and they met with the Warriors, spent the afternoon with them, and I think I was the biggest fan running around it's really amazing. These ladies came down, and they gave their time and for this great cause. And now they're going to come back, and they're like, well, we'll do a skills clinic, and Mr. Wirtz made the gym available on June 21st. And it's like $150, but the Warriors, this is not a fundraiser or anything like that. No. It's an appearance fee for the young lady golfers. So you don't have to worry about funding us if you don't want to. But this is a really big get to have this kind of talent come to our area where you don't have to drive 2 hours to the cities to go to one of these camps. You can spend a morning here and get this top level talent.
Okay. We are out of time, my friend. I appreciate you very much coming on the program. It is Minnesota Warriors Volleyball. Do you have a website, something that somebody wants to help out in some way? They just find you.
It's www.mnwarriorsbball.com.
All right. Go there, check it out. This is a great program. I love the idea that it is actually stretching kids into the community to help those with even less, more needs, less fortunate than themselves. This is a great program. Len, keep up the good work. I appreciate you, my friend.